Falling Esports continues to impress, and here's a nice team play in Construct King of the Hill, specifically by Ace and Eco, who showcase high-level plays on both a micro and macro level. Right now, Infinite leads with a score of 169, but the time is 4:57, meaning the Hill has just switched from the sniper spawn up to the open street, meaning now, more than ever, it is paramount that they get top map control. As Bubu and Infinite fight for control of the top of the map, Ace is there to stop them with the ground bounce, splash damage, and some confident shots from the BR. Both Shotzzy and Fallicated will drop. He'll turn his attention to Gold Lift with the final shot into Tusk for the double as 3 players on Infinite drop in quick succession. Let's look again and take notes on the location of that nade toss, taking advantage of the upward slope on the ramp to get a nice high arc with that nade so it blows up in midair and does chip damage to both Shotzzy and Fallicated at the same time. And he does it for a couple reasons. Remember, there's a 1-second explosion timer on nades that doesn't start till a nade either hits the wall, a floor, or a Spartan. So if instead he tossed that nade off the back wall, it would have to sail through the air, hit the wall, and then the 1-second timer starts, giving Shotzzy Fallicated a little bit more time to escape it. So this nade must have been a combination of prediction and listening from Ace. He must have known that those players were pushing up the lift and that he had a very short window of time to make that nade go off. And what's the fastest way to make that nade explode? Bounce it off the floor, force an early explosion in the air so you do the damage as early as possible. The next step here is to follow up with a confident shot and strafe. He has the advantage in this fight. He has Neighbor with him on the left, so he'll opt to take the fight from the right side, and this is hard to see, but try to pay attention to how the strides he makes with the left stick lead the movements in his reticle, and his right stick then follows up with tiny micro adjustments to precisely hit those shots in reaction to what the enemy players are doing. On top of that, he thinks about target switching and maintains a good distance from the opponents as well. The moment Shotzzy goes out of view, he switches targets over to Fallicated and prioritizes Fallicated, and he does that while strafing backwards using the column as cover and keeping a distance between himself and the opponents, avoiding the potential for a beatdown. You can see the last strafe for the final shot as well that he uses to take out that player with the strafe to the right, and he doesn't jump until the very end. Remember, your jump is your lifeline in this situation. He saves his jump till the end of the fight in a jump out to the left just in case Shotzzy didn't already get taken down by Neighbor.
In top middle, it's well, and he's trying to help him out. He manages to grab.
He then immediately turns his attention to Gold, reacting to his teammate's death, and this is all reticle placement. Putting your reticle at head level and almost predicting where the enemy is going to be so you can react to it quickly and efficiently. He gets that final headshot, crucial headshot into Tusk for the double kill, and now we have an interesting macro scenario. Right now, 3 members of Infinite are on Respawn, and Bubu is the last surviving player. Meanwhile, Ace is on Closed Street, Neighbor's on Rockets, and Frosty's collecting points in the Hill. This is a great opportunity for Falling Esports to control the top of the map. If they take out Bubu quickly, they'll force a spawn in the basement, and in the basement, Infinite's options to get back up top are much more limited. One of the best ways that Infinite can regain control is if they grab the overshield while they're down there, and conveniently, the overshield is spawning in about 5 seconds at 4:40. And this is where Ace makes his next great play. He recognizes the importance of the position that he's standing in and the fact that he's directly above OS. So watch this. He applies pressure to Bubu. Bubu will back down. He will immediately drop straight down into OS, and he can pick it up the moment it spawns for the burn and then escape. And of course, that's a burn because he picked it up after getting shot. If your shields are down and not in a state of recharging or full, you do not get the benefits from the OS, but regardless, that's a huge opportunity that he denied from the enemy team. He will then immediately go up to Gold Lift, and they can focus on map control. This is where Eco is going to start to turn up. You'll get a double kill on Bubu here, and then he'll push up. They'll pinch Shotzzy to take him out, and watch how quickly he reacts to the setup here. Noticing that Ace is top gold, and that Frosty's in the Hill, and that Neighbor in just a second is going to come up close lift. Immediately, Eco knows to go sword. And you'll see Neighbor right now coming up close lift. He knows to go sword so they can get that ultimate top map control. Just an excellent play here. One guy controlling sword, one guy on close, one guy on open, one guy on gold lift. Now, in theory, a play like this is excellent and will result in top map control for your team. However, unfortunately, things don't quite go that way. As Eco pushes up on Sword, Infinite will retaliate by sending all 4 of their players up the gold lift in an attempt to overwhelm the enemy team, and they do just that. Frosty will go down, Ace is going to get overwhelmed, and he will drop, followed by Neighbor shortly after, leaving Eco as the final surviving player on R1. And Eco has a very important role here. He needs to stay alive for multiple reasons, not just to apply pressure, but to understand that he is a essentially a moving spawn beacon. If he can back up, get out of the enemy line of fire, and get to sword quickly, he will spawn his teammates in sword, giving them an opportunity to regain top map control, which is huge. So how does he back up? He will roof bounce himself by jumping multiple times to move backwards even more quickly. Excellent use of the jump mechanic, bouncing himself off the roof to move backwards quickly. And of course, the two X's right here, his teammates that are down, as he moves forward, those will disappear, be replaced by spawns, his teammates spawning up in sword behind him. And watch how Eco plays this, applying pressure on open street. He has an opportunity to jump over to open street here, but he'd be directly in the line of fire. So what does he do? Makes a very precise jump down below to mid gold, and now he's going to use his newly spawned teammates for a nice sneaky play. Check this out. As he pushes up, he'll jump over to the arm. His teammates, of course, here pushing through open, will take the aggro and apply pressure as he jumps, crouch jumps up from underneath. He can melee to take out Boo Boo, and of course Shotzzy has a double dilemma now, getting shot at from both sides. Eco knows that, but he's one shot. He needs to back out to the right to stay alive, and needs to get out of the street, so he drops down to escape and immediately moves over to the open lift to go to safety. Excellent movement, excellent play by Eco. The only mistake that he made, the only way that I would say that he could improve this, is if he placed his reticle here instead of here. So I guess predicting that Shotzzy would go behind gold instead of this location, he could have finished him off. But misses that opportunity. Regardless, doesn't matter. Makes a perfect play. Back up the lift, and they regain top map control.
In top middle, well, it's Frosty who's up top, and so's Ace as well, and he's trying to help him out. He manages to grab one, and there's some more hill control. This is looking better from Falling Esports.
Huge plays by Falling Esports. They kill 3. Boo Boo's the last one. He's in sword. They know it. And Ace dropping for the overshield. This is perfect. He burns it. That's a perfect burn because at least Infinite doesn't have it. Now, if Ace is able to get up top with his life, this gives Falling Esports map control without the threat of an overshield guy lifting up the purples.
Yeah, as a little bit of a cleanup crew, Boo Boo Doo Boo and his teammate. I mean, this is great teamwork from both of these teams at the moment. They're all pushing together accordingly. Very difficult to try and catch one player out on their own.
Yeah, if you're Frosty, you got to stay alive there, open street. You can't die to the guys that lift. You know they all are going to lift. You end up getting 2 weak, but nobody was there to finish the kills. They only got one of them. And now Infinite's taking kind of map control back and has disabled Falling Esports from getting any hill time and making this lead any smaller.
Oh, Eco's there to disrupt. He's able to pick up one and also dip out of the way of Shotzzy to really be a nuisance. That's actually a massive, massive deal from Eco.
And there's a quick breakdown on some great team play between Ace and Eco. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if so, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell beside the subscribe button, keep in touch with everything the moment it comes out. And guys, E3 is tomorrow. We got a brand new Halo game unveiled tomorrow. It could change the entire Halo landscape. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm so excited for it, and I hope you guys are too. Get ready for E3 tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Can't wait.